Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in for another episode. I have finished rigging up all the rods for the first event of the year on Sam Rayburn. I've got them upstairs. I will show you every rod that I've got rigged up. It's always a process to start the year because I put fresh line on everything. It's just a matter of getting everything the way I want it. And we finally have accomplished that. And this is one of those events. It's setting up to be pretty wide open, in my opinion. You know, we had a major cold front go through almost the entire United States a few weeks ago. And since then, Texas, and specifically the Sam Rayburn area, has had several weeks of 70 and even 80-degree temperatures. So even though the water dropped pretty low, I'm going to say it probably was down into the upper 40s at one point. My guess is it's potentially back up to the upper 50s now. And with that, I think you're going to see a lot of things happening. I think you might see a lot of fish moving from where they wintered to staging areas for the spawn. I think there's you potentially might see a few fish even spawning. I think you're going to see a lot of fish utilizing some of the primary travel routes. I just think it's going to be a tournament where you might have to catch them in one area one day and the next area the next day. And, you know, I know based on results we've been seeing in the other tournaments around the country that forward-facing sonar is going to be a major factor. I think, if anything, what we've seen from the Lake Conroe Bass Pro Tour event is it just solidifies how important and valuable and strong of a tool forward-facing sonar is. So with having said that, I think this tournament will be dominated by somebody that is using forward-facing sonar, most likely just throwing a jig head in a minnow. I don't think we're going to be so far along that, you know, the majority of the population is going to be up on the bank. I think you might see a better population of fish on the bank that we've seen in other tournaments roughly the same time of year on Sam Rayburn. But I still think you're going to see, you know, 80% of the population is going to be out in areas where you can fish them with a forward-facing sonar. So it'll be interesting. We also are expecting a cold front to come through the second half of next week where we're looking at highs in the upper 50s. So is that going to push some fish or stop some fish from moving? I don't know. We have yet to see that. You know, my approach is going to be to get down there and just do a little bit of everything like I like to do and see what the conditions tell me to do. You know, I could very well end up fishing this tournament entirely with forward-facing sonar and jig head minnows. And I also think there's a potential I could fish a lot of this tournament in the backs of creeks looking for spawning type fish. Not necessarily spawners, but fish that are actually up and starting the stage in much shallower water. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to benefit everybody. I think the fish are probably going to be biting well, but I think primarily everybody's going to be able to find something that suits their strengths. And from that standpoint, I think that's great. When you're talking about a field of 230 boats, if you can let people spread out, do what they like to do, it tends to just open up a lot of water for everyone else. So I'm excited to get down there. Why don't we go up to the spare bedroom that I've taken over with all of my rods, and I'll walk you through each of the rods, give you a quick idea as to what and why I think this could be a player. So let's head up to the room and check them out. All right, well, here we are. We're up in the spare bedroom. I've got all of the rods rigged. I got 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21 rods it looks like. So let's start over here with the spinning stuff. So we've got on this guy just a drop shot. I don't have a lot of the baits on. I don't like to put the plastics on and travel with it. I feel like that kind of throws off some of the things. But we've got a 3/16 ounce Picasso tungsten weight with a RoboWorm hook ready to roll as a drop shot. Next up right here, we've got a 1/28 ounce core tackle weedless wacky shot, which I think could be a major player. We've got an 1/8 ounce weedless wacky shot on this one. I really think either shallow or potentially deep. I think a wacky rig could be a major player. We've got here a Berkeley Stunna 112+1. I think a jerkbait this time of the year, always going to be solid as well. In this case, we've got a Sakamata shad, a fish roller, and these are all minnows. Just another minnow rig ready to roll, different weight. This is another minnow bait on a hover rig. This is actually a prototype. Probably shouldn't show that to you quite yet. This is a Duratrix big 7-inch fluke style bait that I've got on a larger hover rig prototype, I guess, as well. Then moving over, so you can see that's almost all minnow style baits. Yeah, I mean, forward facing sonar, it's a player, these guys, and if you don't do it, you potentially could be leaving yourself behind. So switching over to some of the power fishing stuff, we've got here a brush hog rigged up on a Carolina rig. What is up in here? Picasso tungsten football jig, 3/4 ounce, ready to roll. This is a Todd Castledine Strike King. I don't know if I should be showing that, but that's direct from Todd, sent directly to me. He actually sent that to me 2 years ago, but I've got a bunch of his specialty ones. On just another little jig, we got, this is a Picasso, their titanium wire free swinging spinnerbait, been a killer. We've got here a Mini Max, black and blue, Z-Man Mini Max, a War Panda. Kurt Mitchell makes those, just a big glide bait. We got a big old spoon. What's on this? Just a Texas rig for flipping around potentially. We've got an XR K50 Excalibur 1 knocker, the old school ones. We've got a chatterbait with a power stinger. This has been a killer combination lately for me. And last but not least, we've got a 4/0 3/16 core tackle Ozark rig, which I think could be a major player as well. So those are the different rods that we've got ready to roll. I've got a lot of tackle now that I gotta still continue to put in the boat. At least I just need to grab a bunch of stuff. I still need to pack. The plan is to get out of here tomorrow. I'm not sure when this video will air, before the tournament, I'm sure, but it's just always a process. The first one always seems like it takes longer, and that's just because you're putting the boat together and at the same time you're putting all your rods and reels together. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Hopefully one of these will be the winning bait. That would be a good way to start the year. So stay tuned. I should have coverage. Don't know exactly how it's going to play out. I'm looking to do some practice stuff, looking to do some tournament recap stuff, maybe some stuff with the housemates. I don't really know. You guys are going to have to stay tuned, and I appreciate all the support that you guys provide me. Thanks for watching.